Okay, hello and welcome. So I'm Victoria Rose and I'm making this short video for you today to help you take some time to stretch out your lower body. So this will be a short lower body focused video today. I'd recommend this maybe after your Pilates session or after some sort of activity, or if you find yourself on a stiffer day, just taking some time to stretch out when you've got 10 minutes. And okay, hello and welcome. So I'm Victoria Rose and I'm going to guide you through a fairly short lower body stretching routine today. So this is to help you if you're not familiar with stretching or want some help working on your flexibility. I'd recommend throwing this in after your workout or your Pilates session, or anytime you're having a bit of a stiff day, and it doesn't take that long. You can always repeat this video again for a second round if you have the time. So some things that you might want to have, some blocks. You could also use heavy books, dumbbells, anything that you can just rest your hands on to help give you a little bit of height. And a strap. If you don't have a strap, just grab a towel or a scarf. This will substitute just fine. Even a belt can work. And a cushion to sit on, especially if you find when you sit on the floor, you look something like this. Finding something to sit on can help us lift the sit bones and tilt the pelvis forward, allowing us to sit with more ease and comfort and with a straighter spine. So always recommend having these things around for when you're stretching. So we'll begin on our hands and knees. So go ahead and cross over, meet me in tabletop position. So from our tabletop position, we'll just take a few cat-cows. Inhale as you look up to the sky. This is your cow pose. And as you exhale, pulling belly towards the spine, rounding the back. This is your cat pose. Inhale to look up, pulling the hands and knees together. And exhale to round. Let's just go one more time here. Inhaling, looking up. And exhaling to round. So we're going to step our right foot forwards first. So if you need to help yourself, pick your right foot up and bring it forwards. And go ahead, find those blocks or something to help rest your hands on here. And we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So we'll be working on our half splits if you do yoga. And I like to start with a bit of movement. So just rocking forwards and back. And for this exercise, can you start with the toes on the floor and keep them on the floor? So just getting a little bit of movement. And then walk those black blocks back quite a bit. And from here, we're going to return to that idea of the cat-cow. So with your inhale, with the hands on the blocks, can you imagine pulling them back? They're not actually going to move, but imagine pulling them back. And as you do that, the heart comes forward, the gaze lifts. Think cow pose. And as you exhale, bowing down, think of your cat pose. Inhale, lifting the head, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat. Rounding as you bow down. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Come to your cow pose here. So lift the heart, straighten the arms. And just try to imagine pulling the foot back. So the right foot, imagine dragging it back through the mat. See if that helps you straighten the right leg a little bit. And it's totally fine if you don't have the right leg straight here. It's fine to have a bit of a micro bend. Taking those nice deep breaths. So there's a little bit of effort here, but mostly we're trying to soften the breath and breathe space into the back of that right leg. Give me one more breath here. And then release, bend the knee to come out. So just taking a nice low lunge. We'll just take a twist. So left hand down on the floor or a block, right hand up to the ceiling. You can take that right hand onto your sacrum behind you or just reaching it up. And again, returning to those deep full body breaths. As you inhale, the ribs expand. And as you exhale, you find a softening. One more breath here. And then look down to where you're going. We're going to take the right foot off the edge of your mat if you're using a mat. Otherwise, just wiggle the right foot off to the side. And you have options here. So more beginner friendly. That left knee is going to be a little closer. And as you get more and more flexible, you'll be able to slide that left knee further and further back so that you're sinking into this, what we call a lizard lunge if you do yoga. So from here, and again, easiest level, you might have the hands on a taller setting of blocks or books. And as you get more flexible, you might be able to take them lower down. And we're going to return to that idea of the cat-cow. So inhale, looking up, pull the hands back, cow pose. And exhale, dropping down into a bow, cat. Inhale, lifting up, lengthen the spine. And exhale to fold. One more time, inhaling, lift. And exhaling, bow. We're going to stay and hold here. So if you're comfortable, you could take your forearms onto the blocks or books, whatever you have. Otherwise, it's fine to be on your hands. And I want you to try and close the eyes. Notice where you feel the tension, where you feel the most stiffness or resistance to this stretch. And with your breath, can you try to inflate the body from the inside out, creating more space and finding a sense of relief on each exhale. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly prepare to come out. Come up back onto the hands if you're on the forearms. And go ahead, stretch that right foot back. Maybe just stretch it out, let the blood flow return. So you might feel a little bit of tingling here, very normal. Just let that blood flow start to circulate again in the leg and the foot. And then when you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So if you need to help yourself step the left foot forwards. And we just start with this rocking motion forwards and back. Just seeing how the legs are feeling today. So I'm feeling particularly stiff today. That's why it's nice to take a few little dynamic movements before you hold the stretch, just to really warm up the area. Let the body know where we're going. And then on the next one, walk the blocks back a bit. And this is really to help us get the height and the length so that we've got a nice long spine. So if you notice here, my spine is in a long straight line rather than rounded. And from here, I focus on inhaling to open the heart and pulling my left foot towards my right knee. And then on the exhale, bow. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up. Imagine pulling the hands back, dragging the left foot back. And exhale, bow. 1 more time. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhale to bow. Now come to a nice neutral position and hold. So you're going to keep trying to imagine dragging that left foot back, right hip forwards. And if your toes are on the floor like mine, you're going to be feeling a stretch in the top of the left foot. It can be really nice to stretch these areas if you spend a lot of time on your feet, or if you're a runner and your foot is in flexion a lot, your ankle's in flexion a lot, then taking a stretch through the top of the ankle and the shin can feel a great relief. We're going to move into our twist. So coming out, step your blocks forwards. Right hand stays on the block. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. and opening up for a twist. So the hips can really lean forwards here. Option to keep the left hand lifted, or you can wrap around and place it on your sacrum. Breathing with the whole body. Notice how in the twist, every time you inhale, your ribs expand and you come out of the twist slightly, and each exhale you can wrap yourself around a little deeper. And then helping yourself come back to center. And we'll set ourselves up again for that lizard pose. So left foot over to the left, and maybe you're on your blocks. You can walk that right leg back as far as you would like. If you want a more beginner variation, keep that right leg slightly further forwards. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, bow. 2 more times. Inhale, try to imagine pulling the feet together as you lift up. And as you exhale, push the feet apart as you bow. 1 more time. So as I'm talking, a lot of times I'm saying imagine. You don't actually need to move the foot, it's the engagement. And we'll take our hold, so finding a position that works for you. I really like coming onto my forearms for this. And this is where you really want to start to drop the gaze and try to think about nice, long breaths, breathing in and out. So letting the nervous system know that you're okay. Sending those signals to the brain that we need to release and stretch those muscles. Give yourself 1 more breath here. Being patient with yourself. Flexibility isn't something you can just barge into. And slowly coming back up and out. Stretch that left leg back, let the blood flow again. And we're gonna move to have a seat. So for this next exercise, we're gonna take a figure 4 stretch. You could do this sitting on the floor, or you might need a couch or a wall behind you to press into. So I'll show you option 1 first, just on the floor. So coming to have a seat, fingertips behind you, go ahead, pick up your right leg, cross the right foot over the left knee and sit your hips down. So already this might be a bit much for you. And this is where if you're sitting against the wall, it's helpful to have something to push into. So I'm trying not to collapse here. Straightening the arms and trying to lift the chest up. That right foot is nice and flexed. And you're breathing nice and deep. So if you're doing this against a wall, the closer you are to the wall, the harder or more intense it will be. So you can bring that left foot closer if you need a little bit more. And that couch or wall just really helps you to keep yourself lifted. So taking those nice deep breaths. So flexibility is something that takes time. And it's a journey of really learning when and how you're storing your tension in your body. Noticing that and trying to change those patterns. And carving out time to offload some of that tension that just accumulates in our lives. Take a little sway side to side. We're going to slowly come out and we'll go to the other side. So releasing the right foot, taking the left foot up, crossing it over, and easing yourself down. So this is just one variation of doing a figure 4 stretch. You can do this from sitting down, you can do it standing, and you could also be doing this stretch reclined. So if this version doesn't work for you and you have a version you prefer, feel free to do that. As long as you're taking those nice deep breaths And there should be just enough sensation that you're able to sit and breathe. But we don't want to be holding with any pain or any sharpness. As soon as you've lost your breath, we've lost the whole point of the stretch. So just enough sensation. It might be uncomfortable, but there's a difference between pain and strong, uncomfortable sensations. So trying to differentiate that for yourself. And noticing if your mind is trying to rush you out of this, if you can't sit here, what's stopping you? Maybe take a little sway side to side. Final breath here. And slowly release. All right, so that was just a few lower body stretches, mainly targeting our hamstrings and our glutes. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Do let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again soon.